There isn't often when a game comes out that completely changes the way people look at video games. In fact, I'd say it's only happened about 5 times for me, with those games being Ocarina of Time, Bioshock, Half-Life, Metal Gear Solid, and finally, Shadow of the Colossus. While most of these games on that list were incredibly innovative on a mechanical level, meaning that they broke the boundaries of what video games could do from artificial intelligence design to 3D world building, Shadow of the Colossus is different. It was a very impressive game when it came out in 2005 visually, but that wasn't why it was praised. Shadow of the Colossus was acclaimed because it turned the action genre on its head. It became one of the most confusing yet beautiful experiences ever made. It was developed by Team Ico, which was inexperienced at the time, with their only other release being the self-titled Ico. It was groundbreaking in its own right, but it didn't find nearly as much success as Shadow of the Colossus. Why were these games so unique at the time? The answer? Visual storytelling. At a time where story and exposition was fed to you through dialogue rolls and intros, Shadow of the Colossus broke the mold. There are only about 6 lines of dialogue in the game, and the rest is up to player interpretation. All that's told to you is that this shadowy figure will help bring this woman back to life. Both characters are unnamed, and the shadow spirit will only grant your wish if you killed the 16 colossi who have reigned and guarded the surrounding lands for centuries. Reluctantly, you accept, and the rest is up to you. Do you follow through with the task? Who is the figure? Who are the colossi? Who is the woman? You never really find out. All there is to know is what you see, and what you see is a peaceful land being disturbed by you, the player. The first Colossus you encounter is peacefully roaming the area until you strike, and as you go around challenging each Colossus, they get more aggressive and more difficult, with the last one being by far the largest and most menacing out of all of them. Each fight is exciting and challenges the player. They all have great music, but that still begs the question, why are you killing these mostly docile creatures? This game is visually stunning. The landscape is beautiful, the colossi are beautiful, your horse is beautiful, and legitimately everything is, except the shadow spirit and you, the player. You are the black spot on this world, and with each colossus death, the weight of your actions barrels down on you. It isn't glamorous. Every time you kill a colossus, their statue in the hall is destroyed, constantly reminding you of your actions. Despite your evil, you continue and pay the ultimate price at the end, when it turns out you were being used the whole time. You are corrupted by the demon and killed by an army that comes to rescue the girl, but she is alive. Did you win? Does it feel like you won? You definitely accomplished what you set out to do, but these sacred grounds are all but a fraction of what they were. With no guardians left, the land is barren, silent, and rotten. It certainly doesn't feel like you won. What's more is that all this is conveyed to you by your own actions, not dialogue, which only makes the ending more impactful. You sacrificed everything to do something abnormal. Was it right? You have to come to your own conclusions, but it doesn't really matter what conclusion you come to. The guardians are still dead and the shadow is free. So, why did this game change the industry? It isn't the most exciting game, and the controls were kind of poorly designed. It isn't glamorous, and by the end you just feel like an asshole. So why did people flock to this game? Well, just like the game, I'll leave that up to your own interpretation. Thanks for watching. And I'm just kidding. Shadow of the Colossus has moral ambiguity. In Ocarina of Time, you're the good guy. In Half-Life, you're the good guy, depending on how you view the ending. And in Metal Gear Solid, it isn't like you aren't disabling nuclear weapons stolen by a terrorist group for morally gray reasons. You're the good guy. Everything that people had seen up to this point was white and black, cut and dry. But now, all of a sudden, there's a game that questions your decision-making and morality every step of the way. There is no winning, and there is no happy ending. If you beat the game, you lose, and if you stop playing the game, you still lose. You are tainting this beautiful world despite good intentions, and it isn't often you can say that about a game. Many games have tried to replicate this morally gray storytelling to varying degrees of success. However, most of the time, when attempted, games make it very obvious that you are the bad guy instead of having a perfect in-between like Shadow of the Colossus. Retrospectively, Shadow of the Colossus is good. It has great bosses, great sound design, and an interesting take on storytelling, but it's the type of game you walk away from and think about for years. It's hard to perfect moral ambiguity in visual storytelling to the length that this game did, but with the game we saw true art. and even though it came out 16 years ago, we will probably never see anything like Shadow of the Colossus again. Thanks for watching.